traitor, foreign agent, member of a terrorist organization, distributor of fakes. These labels are put on every Russian citizen who disagrees with Kremlin policies. Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine triggered 2 large waves of migration. The exact number of those who left and did not return is still unknown. According to various estimates, from 200,000 to 1 million people left Russia. Most of them fled from the mobilization announced in September 2022. Now the Russian authorities are proposing to punish those who left. Ideas are different, from a ban on remote work to the confiscation of property.
They want to once again carry out reprisals against those who left, who do not support the war and who, having left for the West, are clearly against this aggressive war. And many of those who voice such suggestions want to be holier than the Pope, to be more patriotic than Putin himself and show their loyalty.
Dmitry Medvedev, deputy chairman of the Security Council of Russia, proposed to physically eliminate people who preferred to leave rather than become murderers and war criminals.
Then a serious conversation began between the chiefs, how to act, according to the law or in fairness. I'll have to give a clarification, of course only by law. But if the law does not work or does not reach the goal, then according to the special rules of wartime. Let's remind the experience of the Great Patriotic War and other countries as well. In times of war, there have always been such special rules. And quiet groups of impeccably inconspicuous people who effectively perform them. Dmitry Medvedev, deputy chairman of the Security Council of Russia, on Telegram.
According to Russian opposition activists, it's unlikely that it will come to physical reprisals or deprivation of citizenship. After all, these are complicated processes, both technically and organizationally, but confiscation of property and high tax rates are quite likely.
In this case, there are terrorists who seized power illegally. They keep it and continue to terrorize their own citizens, who can reach. Of course, this all contradicts all international norms. It even contradicts the norms in force in Russia. But since these are terrorists and war criminals, they of course spit on these norms.
Today, Russia is also considering the possibility of closing the borders for men under the age of 65. However, it is unknown whether the restrictions will be strict. After all, Putin benefits from the fact that opposition-minded citizens are leaving the country.
Easier, of course, because when there is no independent media, when there are no protests, when there are total repressions, then yes, war is a very convenient way to control society.
Today in Russia there are mostly either citizens loyal to the government or frightened by repressions. It is not so difficult to explain to them the failures of the Russian army at the front. Propaganda will present information in the right way, experts are sure.
When the Kremlin squeezes out such people, it essentially destroys that form of protest that does not greatly threaten the dictatorship, because peaceful forms of protest in a dictatorship are useless. But at the same time, the Kremlin actually creates a situation where society shifts to the idea that peaceful forms of protest already do not work. It means that the protest will be radicalized.
By destroying Russia's peaceful protest potential, Putin could trap himself as those returning from the front turn their weapons against the Kremlin dictator, Dmitry Gudkov says. Reported by Roman Smoler, Yulia Hranovska, UATV News.